Hey.
Good afternoon. Refresh your browsers, y'all, because today is Friday, February 24th, 2012, and you are listening to Room 3026 Live.
Live.
Episode 473. 60-minute conversation ranging from technology to pop culture. And I'm your host, Damon Nolan, and we are broadcasting live right here in Durham, North Carolina. It is lunch hour in the Onyx Tower.
Yeah, man.
Today, my co-hosts are Mr. Derek Brinson and Mr. Michael Render.
I doozy.
As always, we encourage your participation. That means that you can join the conversation. All you got to do is call us via the telephone at 646-929-2689. Again, that's 646-929-2689 and a 9.
Niner.
Want to say what's up to all of you who are walking in the room right now. For those of you that are here, you can go to our chat window. If you're listening away from your computer, don't worry. You can always enjoy us on other places. But if you're on the computer, you can come hang out with us here at the chat room over at blogtalkradio.com/Damon Nolan. Click on today's episode. There's a little red bar across the top that says on air. Click that, scroll to the bottom, and there we are. Let me say thank you, Mr. Darren Tyler, for providing our theme song. It's called Without You. And that reminds me that without you, that's right, we would not be where we are today. So let me say thank you for all the support that you provide. And let me say hi to Mr. Alan Tran, the man.
And who is 358?
That's me. And Dyslexic in America is joining us live
LL.
right here in the chat room. We also got Miss Eileen Smith.
What up?
She's so nice, they just named her once.
With no last name. Just
Eileen.
All right, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go on the internet, it's Eileen. Mr. Michael Render is joining us as well. Thank you, sir.
What up?
And Random Brain Activity, also known as Bob H. Welcome to the show. In this episode of Room 3026 Live, we are going to talk about a new report about how users are using Facebook as it pertains to their privacy. This has been something that many people have had issues with in the past as it pertains to Facebook. And the question, of course, is, well, how savvy are they?
How?
Yeah. So we're going to look at the details of this latest report. We're also going to look at a new app that is just in time for the Oscars. It's a new app that allows you to engage with your second screen. That would be your mobile device, your iPad, or your however, I think it's those two devices right now, your handheld devices. How you can engage with this television set, which we also call social television or social TV. There's an app that's going to help it become even easier to engage and share with your friends. We'll talk about that and much, much more in this episode of Room 3026 Live. Live. With that being said, I'm going to just quickly do an announcement at the beginning of the show. Don't forget, next week, that's Wednesday, the 29th.
Thursday.
No, I think is it Thursday? The 29th? It's I think Wednesday. Either way, Triangle AMA Digital Marketing Training Camp, February 29th at the Briar Creek Country Club. That's downtown Raleigh.
Wednesday.
You can go there, hear a number of great speeches. It's an all-day event. We'll be there. You can come and hang out with us. It's triangleama.org. Again, that's triangleama.org. If you're interested, if you're in the area, you can register for a 10% off. Save money.
Save it.
That's what I say. Use this discount code DMBC. That's another way of saying Digital Marketing Bootcamp. 10 DMBC 10 is the code. All right, so here we are. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Friday, Friday, ooh. So let me ask how you guys are doing. What's going on in your neck of the woods? Mike Render, you're here,
Yep.
and you're in the driver's seat now. It's different to look at you from across the table like this. Mike Render has taken over Derek's position at the helm, and he's keeping us recording and doing all that. So let me ask the question, man. How does it feel to be in that shoes, in those shoes? You're in control of everything right now.
It feels good
To be the boss.
Huh?
You're the boss.
Who said?
Well, you're in control of everything. That's pretty much makes you the boss now.
Oh. Where's the check?
What about that? This is a free show, so nobody's really
So
getting
I'm
paid.
volunteering to be the
boss. You're the boss of volunteers.
Oh man.
You're the head boss of volunteers.
Oh, so I don't think I can put that on my resume.
You can actually.
Oh,
I hope you do.
All
I'm
right.
the boss. I control everything. Anyway, anything exciting happened since the last time we saw you or heard from you?
No, not really.
Okay,
Just
cool.
handling
Handling
work
business.
and
Business.
capital business. That's
Business.
about it, yeah.
Business doesn't even have. It's just B-I-Z-ness. Business.
Yeah.
Or business with B-I-D.
You bid on this.
I'm business.
Yeah.
Anyway, glad to have you. Thanks
Appreciate
for
it.
being here, even though your partner in crime's not here right now. Hope that you guys are doing well. Glad that you can join us as well. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump right on into our first story.
Uh-huh.
And we call this, I guess it would be nice if my folder was open.
Didn't you say it yesterday?
Yes, it just keeps closing for some reason, just randomly deciding to close.
Random
So
closure.
here it is again, Feed Watch.
Feed watch.
Feed watch, feed watch, feed watch,
Feed
feed
watch.
watch, feed watch.
Feed Watch is when we constantly, or at least pretty regularly, comb the blogs so that you don't have to. We give you the news that you can use because that's what we do. So you best not snooze, you will not lose, unless, of course, you just enjoy singing the blues. What does that sound like, Mike?
I don't know. I never sang them before.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
I don't want to know what they sound like.
So coming out of the gate right now, we have a story. It is all about Facebook. It is about how we as users are using Facebook, and so we're looking at just how savvy are our users. This comes from Forbes.com and their tech story. The report is actually a report that you can find. I have the link here. I'll share it with you. It's from the pewinternet.org. The name of the report is called Privacy Management on Social Media Sites. I'll give you this in just a moment.
Is there really such thing
As what? Privacy?
management in social media?
Privacy management. Sure. You can go into Facebook or Google or Twitter, I think, and even control how much some people can look at your profile or your feeds or what have you. So we're going to look at just how savvy they are and what is the difference of this year or last year over previous years. I do see we have a guest in the house. Green Beasley is here. Welcome to the show. So looking at the first number I see here, that this number says 67% of women who maintain a profile on Facebook say
Lie. No, I'm
that they have deleted people from their network, compared to 58% of men. I'm gonna first of all say that if her picture looks good, I'm gonna probably befriend her. I'm just saying.
What?
You ever just look at a picture and say, "Oh, she looks cool. I'll befriend her," and you may not even know who the person is.
No, I never do that. Baby, turn on your
Your web radio.
your web radio.
You don't just befriend random women.
Yeah, based off of how they look.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
You just befriend everybody.
Nah.
You're an equal opportunity befriender.
I have to see them in person and judge their attractiveness then if I see them in Facebook.
I can dig that. I can dig that. That's yeah, I can dig it.
But baby, you got to know them too. You got to know them. They can't be
But
strangers.
I will say this: to say that they have deleted people means that they had befriended them at least once, and then after they became friends, deleted them and said, "You know what? I don't want to be friends with you anymore."
Right.
And I do that somewhat regularly, as a matter of fact.
Right.
If I see somebody who looks like they're cool, but I don't know if I know them, and if they hide their profiles behind a secure door, I often will befriend them to only figure out that I don't want them, and then I'll delete them.
Okay.
You know?
I mean, it's rare. I don't even think I probably only did it twice.
Really?
Yeah, as long as I've been a user, I probably only unfriended 2 people.
Really?
Man.
I kind of thought that women were very catty at times. Like they'll befriend somebody and then say, "Oh no, she didn't. Did you see what she was wearing yesterday?" Delete. I'm sorry, I can't deal with this. This is too much drama. Delete.
Yeah, and they make announcements.
Yeah, like if you are no longer on my list, it's because and they make some huge thing like, oh, then everybody runs to their account. Am I still your friend? Am I still on the list?
Yeah.
And
yeah, dudes don't do that.
Well, I've seen a couple of dudes. Like my brother did that once or twice.
He made an announcement.
He made an announcement before he deleted them. I'm getting ready to go through my friends list and delete people.
Yeah.
If you're still here, you're lucky.
Yeah, one of my frat brothers. Now I think about one of my frat brothers.
Like, really?
Yeah.
Did you have to announce that? Why don't you just do it and get over with it already?
See, that's how I did it. I was just like, oh, I ain't cool with you. Bye.
You know what gives me those is when they befriend you back.
Nah.
Like they're like, hey, can I be your friend again? Like, no.
And nobody ever really asked to be friends.
See, the thing is, if you hit the ignore button, they'll know that you ignored them, but you have to like really ignore them instead of hitting the ignore button.
I ignore as much as I can just to not hurt their feelings.
Yep.
I just let it sit out there.
Yeah, that's what I
gotta get.
That's what I mean.
Clean
that's
the inbox.
I'll let it sit.
That is so you.
Clean the inbox.
What? It ain't doing no harm. It's just sitting there.
Let it sit.
Yeah.
That sends a message.
Clean your inbox.
It's sitting.
Just let it sit there.
Yeah. You'll be all right.
So another statistic from this Pew report is that half of the social network site users say that they have some difficulty in managing privacy controls. 2% say it's very difficult to use controls, and those with the most education report the most trouble.
Huh?
Really?
What do you
so
mean?
more education makes you dumber.
No, you more likely to do dumb stuff, I guess.
You get to be so smart that you have no common sense.
Yeah, and you know how to do everything that's right and wrong, versus not smart people are uneducated, so they don't even know what right and wrong is. Right.
So how would you? So let me ask you. Let me do a quick poll around this table. How many of you? And I'll also ask this question right now in the chat room. If you're in the chat room right now, I'm gonna put a poll out there. Poll question: how difficult would you say it is to manage your privacy on Facebook? Would you say
1 to 5?
Would you say? And here are the 3 answers.
Okay.
It is very difficult.
A.
It is somewhat difficult.
2.
Or it is not difficult at all.
Omega.
Man, it's easy.
So
you can lock your whole profile up.
So for you,
It's easy.
it's easy.
Yeah.
Derek, what do you say?
For me, I won't call it easy because I have different levels that I would like to do for different people for different things. I won't say hard. Let me go ahead and go in the middle.
You fall in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to turn to you guys in the chat room. What say you? And while you're putting your numbers in there, let me say I think it's probably, for the most part, I'd say it's probably in the middle.
Yeah. Dyslexic in America says somewhat.
Yeah, it's somewhat. It's not.
And
It's not
Eileen
difficult.
Eileen gives it the highest difficulty, and Mike gives it the easy.
Yeah, you just
5
click on.
goes to 4. Yeah. That some days I think that's probably true.
You just go to the privacy settings and you look at what you
Right.
want to hide,
Right.
and then you hide it.
But it's not like it's do you want your friends to see yes or no? It's like, do you want your friends to see your posts?
Yeah,
Do you want your friends
of friends to see your post?
Yeah, like,
But-
And the worst part is it's always changing, and I would like much more granular control, and the way that they explain those privacy settings don't always make sense to me. Being a speaker of the English language, and that's all.
I don't know. I think it's easy because, like how you was just saying, Damon. Like I can pick. Like I can say, hey, I want everybody to see all my posts, but I don't want nobody to see my pictures, or I want only friends of mine to see my pictures. But if you're a friend of a friend, you can't see it.
Yeah.
So
I just make mine
And-
easy.
and-
Anybody can see anything.
Yeah. But I remember I locked mine
for
up.
example,
All
according to
up,
Eileen,
so-
for example, people tag me in photos that I don't want to be tagged in. WTF?
I got
Whiskey
that blocked.
Tango Foxtrot Eileen, I wholeheartedly agree. It's not that I don't necessarily want to be tagged in them. I just don't think I look as good as I want to look. I'm a vain man, and I keep a very, very close grip on my public persona.
But then they get surprised when they see you in person. You're like, oh crap, what happened?
I know.
So I just let any picture go out. If that's what I look like at that moment, then guess what? That's what I look like.
Well, I had mine locked up, so if anybody tags me in the picture, I get a notification before I allow it to be tagged.
Is Green
time.
Beasley a first offender?
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Mhm.
He says Facebook is make-believe. Cyber friends don't need him. I agree to a large extent. I'm changing that opinion in as much as it does allow my real brick and mortar friends and one of the most anti-online people I have ever known says it's just gotten to the place if I want to see pictures from my nephews or these family members that live far away, I had to join Facebook or I just don't get to see those pictures. I said, hey, what are you doing here? And that was the answer she gave me. I don't want to do it, but I'm just missing too much from my real brick and mortar friends and relatives. So yeah, I would never have gotten on Facebook to begin with had Damon not just browbeat me into doing it.
Come on, do it.
Come on, do it. You're an internet
There's a
professional.
great-
You
yeah.
have no excuse for not doing this.
Yeah.
And he's right. And he's right. And I am tempted to jump off of Facebook on a semi-regular basis. I haven't done it yet, and I probably won't. But that's you and I are in the same place with that.
I can hear you typing, Mike.
Oh, my bad.
That's what I was saying.
Point the mic away from it.
Yeah, he's like typing right next. His mic's like right there.
Dude, why don't you get a little mic stand like
Won't you donate me one?
you know what?
I'll borrow it and then I'll give it back when we quit doing the show.
All right, let me get to some other numbers.
You know, I actually
Let
might
me-
know where I might know where one's laying around.
Let me get some
All
more numbers right quick. So there are some additional numbers in this study.
Studio friend of a friend. Met him on Facebook.
37% have untagged photos, and this is right in line with where you guys are. 37% say they have untagged their photos, which is up from 30% in 2009. 44% say that they've deleted comments, which is up from 36% in 2009, and 63% have unfriended someone, up from 56% in 2009. 11% of the users on Facebook said that they have posted content in which they have later regretted it.
Yes.
I can't think of anything that I would have said.
That's the thing
that I regretted.
Some people that usually have pretty good judgment don't have any qualms of driving while impaired on the internet superhighway, on the information superhighway. I don't understand, and my friends that I'm close enough to, I know, say, dude, you were hammered when you did that, weren't you? Dude, if I were you, I would go and unpost that or something. Really, you do intend to get a job later on in life, yeah?
As a matter of fact, that's interesting because that is next month here on campus. I'll be talking to some high school and college kids about how to use social media sites responsibly as it pertains to getting a job and whatnot. And this definitely will be one of those. Don't let your friends post crazily on social media.
Yes, because you are, as grown folk, older folk used to say, you are known by the company you keep. That is even more true now as it concerns your cyber friends, and the more lucrative your prospective employment opportunity is, the more exhaustive their search is going to be for you and for your online associates. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, be careful. And then lastly, the last number that I have here is that 58%, this is the majority of those who are using social network sites, say that they restrict access to their profiles, and women are significantly more likely to choose private settings. That's no surprise to me. They tend to be a little bit more guarded than some of us men, and rightly so. Right? We men, overall, we like to protect our women, so I'm okay with that. You know, although I just wish some of my friends from high school would just get on the network to begin with. I mean, even if you want to block it, that's fine. Just get on the network. Can we just do that? Can we just have a campaign that says everybody needs to get on some social network at some point in time?
Dude, it's a slippery
Social
slope.
network eliminated the phone call, man, or even the ability to make one. Because I mean,
just
there's
make
no
it
way
easy.
there's no other way really to connect with them.
I just want to know what's going on. That's
Yeah.
it.
Hey,
That's
you
every-
alive?
That's it.
Yeah, I'm alive. All
Can I
right,
see a
cool.
couple pictures? You know how the kids
recent
growing.
You know what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's this new thing out. Gee-goo, gee-goo, gee-goo.
yeah. That takes too much effort. I don't have enough
You
time in the
clearly,
day.
you just don't want to know that badly.
I
what's
do.
going
I just
on.
don't want to have a conversation to do it. I just want to do a quick review. Get
I
in,
should be able to
get
type
out.
your name and find you and send
Yeah.
you a message and
Look
look
at
at your
the last,
profile.
Yeah, look at the last 10 updates and see. Okay, they cool.
Yeah.
Moving on.
If I can see your New Year's pictures, that's far enough back.
That's-
or
I'm fine with it.
Christmas or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, I understand.
Any dramatic changes in your life? No. Good.
All right.
Keep it
You
moving.
still got all your limbs. You healthy. You know.
Yeah.
I get that.
But
and,
it's
and I
people
am
make
still
it
on
hard,
Facebook,
man.
And as much as I whine about Facebook, I do very much the same thing.
And if
And
it comes down
people,
to it,
just people, I'm very, very busy, and sometimes it's late at night. I'm wondering what my peeps are doing, even though I haven't had a chance to call them.
Yeah.
all right. So let's move on to our other story. Let's talk about this new app. There's a social TV
Did
app.
I miss the Friday song?
No, we didn't play it today, but we
See,
did
Derek,
sing it.
See, this is why. Yeah, come on time.
I'm sorry,
That way you
man.
won't
I
ask.
had a little.
He comes in smelling like chicken, and then he asked the question like, "Do we play the Friday song?"
One
It
chicken,
and
one
didn't
chicken,
bring any
one beef
chicken with you.
enchilada.
I mean, help a
had
brother
the-
out.
I know we all hungry too.
My pops.
Yeah.
It's a family business.
And then
thing.
he-
I'll explain it to you.
And then he
offline.
comes down here and he's breathing hard like he actually ran up here.
I did. I ran.
I really think
I
that
ran
was-
after a fat Mexican thing.
So you try to say
I
he
had
sprayed the
to-
flour on his
Yeah.
face.
I
Yeah.
had to get. I had to
He
get.
says,
with my
I
pops.
gotta make it sound like I was running to get here. So let me. Oh, hey
I had,
guys.
to, I had to get it with my pops. We've been trying to get up all week. and
Yeah, yeah.
I'm glad I did. I'll explain to you
Yeah,
offline.
yeah, you
it's
do
a
that.
it's a personal family.
Didn't
thing.
bring any chicken or
No,
fish
no
back with you.
enchiladas.
It
I
would have
mean,
been cold. It would have gotten cold by the time
Help
we
a
got here.
brother
We
out.
ate real quick, and we had to do some legal stuff.
All right. Well, anyway, the social TV.
It was good though.
Social TV app.
And you paid, so there you go.
The social TV. I think it's the third time I said that, right?
Sorry.
The social TV app. That's four. Is up. It's called Second Screen. For those that don't know, this is where we watch television on our main screen, our television set, or our computer, or whatever. But then we pull out a second device, which could be a laptop, it could be a desktop, it could be a tablet, it could be a phone, whatever.
You're big on the social TV thing.
It is. It's not just me. It's coming. It's coming as a new trend. Social TV. Well, there's a company called Umami. That's
Yo mama.
Umami. Umami. I
Man,
guess
you
it's.
don't talk about a black man's mommy.
I'll spell it for you. Umami. Umami. I'm going to assume. I'm going to go with Umami. It's a new app that debuts, and it does a couple of really cool things. Now, this company, which is based out of New York City.
New York City.
New York.
Get a rope.
It's a reference to the Pace Picante sauce.
Nice pickup.
Yes.
Well done, sir.
Umami TV is launching new features that lets users instantly select and share images from TV programs that they're watching.
That's
This
kind of
comes
cool.
from The Next Web.
If you're already not watching it.
If you are not watching it, you can watch pieces of it. The new function adds an option or availability to your iPad, which I clearly do not have.
Boom, 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 boom.
But there has a couple new features. One is called Freeze Frame, and the other one's called Dishboard. The freeze frame is kind of like what I just mentioned a moment ago. It basically lets you as a user grab images from the show that you're watching and then share them via Twitter or Facebook.
You mean more easily than control print screen?
If you're on a tablet, how would you do that? And especially if you're watching television, right? Because the best thing you can do probably is to pull out a camera, point it at your television set, and then take a picture, right? But it's not in high. It's not a really high quality picture.
A picture of a television screen is
Yeah.
pretty
Whack.
yes, it's pretty hard to. Is that a foot or a bottle of shampoo?
I think that's that's Snoopy. So anyway, what they do is this service will allow you to they'll take clips of the show and then you can just kind of like use your thumb to scroll through these different pieces of the show and then send it out as one of your favorites. And it looks really good, by the way.
That's what counts.
Yeah. The other thing that they have is called Dishboard, which is another part of this app, and it will allow you to monitor the conversation data in real time and then puts it into a really cool infograph. I'm going to share this URL with you so you guys can actually see this for yourself. Mike, you have the screen in your control. You guys can see it where you are as well.
I like it better when I
Check
have
this
this
out.
under my control.
Check this out. I want to say what's up to Neil, who just walked in. Also, guest 2558. Thanks for joining us.
You know this.
Little Bites is here as well. Good day, ma'am.
Man, this sounds like live blogging for TV.
So
Watching. Yes.
So what you can see here is you're watching this on your television set, and then on your iPad, for example, you can see the different thumbnails that you can scroll through, and then it gives you an update form where you can update to Facebook or Twitter, and then attach the picture.
So that's user based thumbnails, like, or is it doing that automatically?
It does it automatically.
Oh, okay.
So as the movie or show goes on,
Yeah,
it
so
will
it's like
actually
live
give you
blogging
clips.
for
Yeah.
a TV show.
Exactly. Oh, no, kinda. It maybe just because we do it anyway.
Yeah,
Like if we're watching the game or you're watching whatever.
but you can actually see
See, the thing
see
is,
the pictures.
Right.
rebroadcast or retransmission of any of these
So,
images or
yeah.
account descriptions
Without
without
the
the express
official-
written consent of the National Basketball Association
Or NCAA
Yeah,
or NFL
is
or
expressly
National
prohibited. So,
hockey leagues.
random brain activity. Bob H is right here in the chat room when he says screaming copyright violations. And you said the game. Yes, he's
Right.
absolutely right.
Well, like
you
I
should
said,
be able to do that.
Catch
I
me
don't-
first. Catch me first.
I don't
Got your profile.
I don't disagree with that.
You know what? You got and I got David profile. You know what? He leave everything open. I can figure out where he lives in about 3 clicks.
Like, sir,
You can come there if you want to.
It's the police.
You
We are more heavily
broadcast-
armed than you are for copyright violations.
I
you
didn't do
broadcast
it.
the whole Super Bowl.
Did I see it on your Twitter profile?
Yeah, I didn't do that. The
What
app
part
did
about
that.
expressly prohibited did you not
I mean,
understand?
you need to sue you mommy for
Exactly.
keeping it open.
Get up with you, mommy.
Your mama
I
did
spoke
this.
to my mommy today
Yo, mommy.
with my pops she was on the phone in the car.
Cool. Well, I'm glad that you got a chance to talk to her while you were eating that fish.
No,
And
well,
enchilada chicken.
no, it was on the
enchilada
way. It was
chicken.
on the way to one chicken, one beef. Yeah.
But take a look at that other thing real quick, Mike. If you look at the link there, you'll see that the dashboard or the dishboard, which is kind of cool. Scroll down
Oh,
some
my
more.
bad. That's okay.
See,
So
so
you
it
can-
gives you some
okay.
real live analytics of how many people are probably watching or how many tweets you have.
Nah, that's cool. I like that better over than the
Just the
live,
picture?
Yeah, the live blogging thing.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, and we've seen this. We talked about the Super Bowl. You know, what are the numbers? How many people are watching this right now? Well, this is in real time. You can see how many of your friends are online right now talking about that. And there's a little down here at the bottom. You have different icons where you can kind of switch between who's on, who's watching this with you, what are people talking about, and then see all the details.
So, like, if I was a
what's-
producer of a show and it just debuted or it was like the premiere, like, this would be some good numbers
Absolutely.
they have.
Yeah, that
To see
you're-
it.
that's a great insight.
See, like the Cape,
and as
man,
you
they
know-
could have had that.
Back in the day,
Nobody's watching.
when
I
broadcast
was
TV was
watching.
the only way to take in this kind of this kind of content. That was the kind of very, very focused, very accurate analytics that they would have killed and died for, and it's here.
And it's live.
It's
I mean,
here and exactly
and-
here
and-
and live and all,
and not
and
just they,
24/7.
but we can get this finally. So, and I think what's cool about this is you can say what are my friends watching right now?
The Cape.
Now, understand this: there are some similarities here between Go Miso and Get Glue and these kind of things. But this really, for me, is taking it a step further. It doesn't just say what are my friends watching. It says, here's what your friends are watching, and here's how many other people are also
this is
watching
what
this
the rest of the world
as well.
is checking out. That's very
So
interesting.
that's very cool. All right, well, we're getting ready to go to Daily Booth, so pull out your cameras. But before we get there, I want you to also know we're on the other side of Daily Booth. We're going to talk about this new sale that Google is making. They're getting rid of Clearwater. Clearwire, excuse me. They're getting rid of that. We'll tell you why. And then we'll also look at a new patent that Apple has in the making. It's going to make their keyboards even slimmer. Is that even possible?
Yes.
We'll take a look at that on the other side of a Daily Booth. So pull out your cameras right now and let's take some pictures.
I like the Yankees guy. I'm a big Yankees fan.
Popular.
Dude, that is suicidal. I can't believe you made that. I can't believe it's true. And then you actually fessed up to that. You admitted that.
Yeah, I got 2 hats. One with a C and one with an NY on the front.
I guess that's Cincinnati Digger everything.
Daily Booth is where we go to take pictures.
As long as you don't have a Red Sox.
It's a free website. You can go there right now. It's www.dailybooth.com.
You don't have to question your mind.
Take your picture, man. and then share it with us right here in the chat room. And once you do, we'll take a look at it and we'll probably talk about it.
About it.
Well, at least you're here. And if you're not here and you're listening to an archived show, it's okay. You can always join us later. Hit me up on dailybooth.com/Damon Nolan.
Bob H, 30 minutes into the show and no mention of Netflix. It's because I'm out of breath, man.
Yeah.
Netflix.
Well,
run up the stairs.
You just broke it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just broke it. 30 minutes in, we broke it. All right, Mike, you have the screen. Let's take a look at what people are doing right now. It looks like, Mike Render, you've thrown up your picture.
Yeah.
If you want to click that so I can talk about you. Mike Render takes a picture with his New York Yankees. That's what they were talking about just moments ago. And looks like you took a picture today. Great stuff. We took a picture this morning, Derek. What happened to you?
Boom.
I was
Having dinner with your dad and eating fish and
no.
enchiladas?
That was later. That was wrapping up things.
So we took a group picture today.
How come no one told me?
Well, it was on the email.
Yeah.
What email?
That got sent out earlier this week. You got to put it to your calendar. But the department took pictures.
How come they just didn't put it to my calendar?
And this is what Mike was wearing.
Yeah, really. I totally forgot. Until I got here.
And I said, Mike, are you going to take a picture of that? He goes, oh, man. I said, see, you got to put this to your calendar,
like that.
man. And it's pretty much what this picture looked like, too.
No shave, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Looks just like that.
I'm embarrassed.
And we was outside, and I still looked like I was inside the building.
Anyway, let's
Darren
see.
missed it, too.
What other pictures do we have right now?
Nobody.
Well, you did talk about Faye. Miss Faye Alexander posted a picture, although she may or may not be here listening live in the show. But I want to say what's up to Faye. Thanks for posting that picture, and keep it up the good work. Feel free to post your picture once you get it. We'll talk about you when you do. All right,
Either way.
let's move on and talk about what Google just did. They're getting rid of Clearwire. This comes from TechCrunch. And it looks like, as of right now, as Google inches closer to its completing of the Motorola Mobility acquisition, it made another strategic move in its mobile plans, where it announced that they're going to sell 6.5% stake in the 4G operator Clearwire for a value of $1.60 per share, which is discounted from the current trading price, which is $2.27. Basically, what they have done is they're going to sell those shares for $47 million, which is actually a loss for them because, well, when they originally paid for it, they were, I think they spent $500 million.
I didn't know Google had Clearwire.
Yeah, they were. I think they were looking at this as an opportunity to kind of get in on the 4G before it really took off.
That was the biggest ripoff. Well, I've heard it's a big ripoff.
What's your beef or what's your perceived beef?
It's a throttled service. So if you, like, let's say Damon looks at a lot of video, but you just check email, your service will be slow because Damon's probably eating up all the data to do his video, and y'all both are paying the same price. And that's what they would do.
How do you know that?
Because if you do like the little report, what is it, like, where you look at negative reviews on companies or whatever, that's what everybody was saying, that it's throttled. Like when you first get in, it's good, like for the first month, and then that second month you start seeing that get slow, depending on how everybody else uses it.
Now Clearwire. Now I know Sprint uses Clearwire, or Sprint had a stake in Clearwire.
Right.
But I know that a number of other companies, AT&T and Verizon,
So this is just data, not voice?
Yeah, this is just data.
Because
my sister, she had it, and a couple other people I knew all had it, and they all dropped it. And like they try to lock you in because they give you like the 30-day whatever trial, and if you don't pull out, it's like $400 to cancel.
I'm trying to understand why. Why would you use Clearwire?
It was like mad cheap internet
for the handheld device for your phone.
No,
I mean, this for internet service
for your house.
Yeah,
for any device. That's the thing. If you were within Clearwire
he's talking about his
range.
house though. He's not talking about like mobile device. He's talking about Clearwire for your home, like what we use Time Warner for.
Right.
Gotcha.
Well,
Right.
and the same as, but you can use Clearwire all over the city of Cary. You don't have to be at your house.
Yeah, you can get like a little thing to take with you, and you can use the internet wherever.
Oh,
But it's
gotcha.
depending on who's all on it. Depends on how
How many
fast
noses
you.
in the trough? We were
Right.
talking about this
Right.
yesterday.
Gotcha. Okay. So,
Yeah, but that's going to be the case with any internet service. Any wireless internet service provider is going to. The speed is going to be reliant on how many noses there are in the trough at that time on that node.
But yeah, but you can't if just because you just use the internet to check email and he's using it to look at video, you can't slow it down just because he's eating up all the data for video. Can you?
Clearly, they
And y'all
can.
both
I just
paying
don't
the
think
same
it's a good-
price?
I clearly you can. I just
So-
I agree that's probably not the best idea. But the problem is there is a limited. You got to allocate it somehow.
Well, I haven't heard Time Warner people say that
well, they do.
out there.
They
Well,
really
you know,
do.
I pay that the business class,
Mhm.
and at least when I pay that money, I'm getting essentially the same speed that I was getting before, essentially. But I get priority.
Yeah, in
So,
case more
so
noses
mine doesn't go down.
in case more noses decide
Right.
to be in the trough at the same
And
time.
Clearwire-
He gets to go to the front of the trough. all the
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
And
all the
Clearwire wasn't doing that. You was paying the same as Damon
I
was
am paying less than he is, and I'll bet you my average speed is higher than his.
Well, again, I would get it at certain times of the day. When I was with the regular Time Warner service, I was getting really great speeds at one time, and then almost in the next minute, it would drop back down to like nothing.
Mine's
Dang.
pretty
my,
steady.
my thing would buffer so bad sometimes that I couldn't even watch Netflix.
Not
So
me.
I paid a
Never had a
couple
problem.
extra dollars more and had no problem since. As
I-
far as buffering goes or anything.
I just have never experienced.
Well, you're
those
also
kind
in Cary,
Well,
so that's
Yeah.
that's different. I'm in Smithfield.
It's a utopia.
I wouldn't
right.
go that far, but
You're-
it's.
you guys are living the
It's all right.
life,
Yeah.
I would not go that far.
There's no
It's-
crime.
living the life.
Everybody's neighbors.
There is crime.
It's always sunny.
Crime
it never
doesn't
rains
pay.
there
Well,
or snow.
it rains upside down. The water actually goes to the sky.
Stay funky, your friends.
Stay funky, my friend. See where I was going there.
Yeah.
Now, of course, if you ask the question, well, why is Google doing this? Why are they buying themselves out, or why are they selling these shares? I have no real answer for you, other than the fact is they didn't tell us. But we can speculate. Clearly, there are some speculations right now about the fact that they are buying into the mobile mobility. And there you go, typing again.
He
my
is
bad,
just
sorry.
all on the cape.
Yeah,
My bad.
the cape.
I brought it back.
Just set the mic away from the keyboard.
know I
Keep
did
that
one.
thing
Thank
away
you.
from that other thing. Don't you know that's where babies come from? Stop that.
From the keyboard?
See,
Oh.
So,
that's jokes, right?
do you guys have any? So, if anyone can explain, like, why do you think? Let's speculate for a second. Why do you think that Google is selling this? Is it just because it's a bad idea?
Yeah.
But why would they do that now at a loss?
I think
And how does this Motorola Mobility come into play?
they're bailing on one platform in favor of another, and I think that they are what I would call they're cutting their losses. I think they're going to get if they jump out now, it's going to be a loss. If they jump out later, it's going to be a bigger loss. I think they have determined that time is not their friend, and the sooner they jump out, the better. That's just my speculation. That's my
Okay.
guess. That's one of the few explanations that it's viable that makes sense.
So now the Motorola Mobility acquisition that they're going into now is, as I understand it, really just a hardware thing, more so than a network thing.
Are you sure?
If I'm not mistaken, I mean I could be wrong, but
I mean,
but if
I'm-
you guys know some other information that I don't know, by all means, please share it. But
I thought that
but
they
the
were,
Motorola is about hardware. It's about building phones, which is why getting into this means they can develop their own phone. We've also talked about how Motorola Mobility provides hardware for televisions, right? The little cable box.
Yeah, they're looking at the idea of having Google TV as an option on everything that flies out of Best Buy and Target and all those.
And not so much on the network side of things.
Right.
Well, I don't think that they've abandoned the idea of providing network access in as much as they are putting in some of the fastest lines, the fastest internet connectivity available on the planet today. Fiber optic cable direct to people's houses all over Kansas City, if memory serves. I'm pretty sure it's Kansas City because they were,
Kansas City.
Kansas City, yeah. Got a lot of pretty wind, but no.
Baby, turn your web
turn
radio
your
down.
web radio down just for a minute, sweetheart. But yeah, you remember because the Research Triangle, this area, and a whole lot of cities were in contention for this Google initiative for
I
they
do
essentially
remember.
I believe it was Kansas City that was ultimately the winner, and so they are still in the internet service provider infrastructure provider game. I just think that they have determined that this Clearwire platform is a loser for them, and they're just getting out. I don't think they're.
The concept is great though.
Yeah, and it may very well be that they have
Got
their
their own.
Yeah, it could very well be that they've got their eye on something else, and it could be that they have determined they've got to get rid of Clearwire in order to move to another type of infrastructure, or maybe they're scared that they're going to run into some of the same problems that AT&T had when they were taking over T-Mobile. Those are again a couple of viable scenarios that make sense that just immediately come to mind.
Cool.
Again, I have this is all guesswork on my part.
Yeah, well,
Speculation.
that's okay. That's what it is.
I just
We
want to
call
make sure.
it-
I
we
just
call
want to
it-
make sure that we're clear. I don't really know.
We
This
call
is
it
all
speculation. That's right. So I'm going to switch gears and talk about Apple's new patent, where they are trying to develop a brand new keyboard that's so slim that it's the slimmest keyboard.
Slimmy.
Yeah.
Slim Shady.
Some of the details.
Slim something.
I got this from Gizmodo, but actually it came from Apple Insider, where they described how the keyboard could be made even thinner, while also trying to maintain its usability. The system, as it's been suggested, would mean that the keys would basically travel a range of 0.2 millimeters. Now, don't get me started because I have no clue how big that is, but it's got to be pretty small.
Yep.
How many millimeters?
2 of them.
0.2.
0.2 of them.
0.2 to be exact. So we're talking about, if I could pull out my ruler, how big is a millimeter? That's got to be like this.
That's as thin as your thumbnail.
Yep.
So this is going to be a 0.2. This is how far that button's going to travel.
Wow.
Right.
When you push it, it's going to be like,
0.2. That
Probably
is-
just have to touch.
Yeah, I
your
mean that's
finger
like
over it.
fingernail. That's about as thick as a fingernail. Yes.
so that's how far you're going to travel when you push the button.
So we don't have any pictures in the chat room. or something?
No, I don't. It's there's nothing to look at.
It's Apple Insider, so it's so far inside you can't see it.
Yeah, there's nothing really to look at.
You see.
Well, what else do we
Pause.
know? What else do we know? So I got some other suggestions. If you look at this patent, it tells you that the material for the keys that you press could actually be made out of anything, like glass or wood or stone or even, and I don't know where you get this from, polished meteorites. This is actually what's in the patent.
So meteors.
You could create a
You
keyboard.
see meteors like a falling star.
Yeah.
And you run as fast as you can to the other side of the planet so you can get it and sell it to Apple.
And you polish it. And then you put
No,
it in.
Apple's gonna polish it.
Well,
Oh,
somebody's going
man.
to polish it.
Ooh,
I have one of those,
that's
by the way.
Pretty.
So it's going to be really, really, really,
Yeah, thinner than that.
really, really thin.
Apple.com/keyboard. Man, that's pretty. I'm gonna get me one.
That's really, really thin. It also suggests that they would use keys that could be flexible and also have a spring lever to provide some kind of feeling when you touch it. So it's kind of like you'll feel it that you're pushing it. And one of the benefits of this new keyboard that they're working on is that it wouldn't make any sound. It wouldn't be any click sound.
I need mine to make.
Yeah,
a
it wouldn't be
sound.
any click sound.
I need mine to do that.
It'd just be like,
I need the sound. I need that.
I just typed the whole entire paragraph just then.
See, I saw what you did there.
Oh, there it is.
I see what you did.
Yeah.
there. That was funny.
That doesn't really tell you anything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like you look
it
at
just
it.
shows you how deep the button goes, though.
So that's if you want to share that picture, you surely can.
Hey, just,
well,
But
just share the
it
whole
really
article, man. That's
doesn't.
nice.
Yeah,
I
it
need
really
a
doesn't.
profile picture view.
I need to see like a real device. Like, just let me see what it looks
Are
like
you
first.
not even drawn out? Doesn't work.
Well, I don't know what that is. I can't tell what that
Those
is.
are lines. It's
It's a schematic.
I
It's
mean,
a
I know what it is,
composition.
but it
It's
doesn't.
engineer ease.
It's a composition.
I mean, I know what it is.
Man, you are you are just not very patient with these things.
No, that doesn't. I don't know what that is. It looks like a tree grinder. I don't
It's
know
a-
what that is.
It's a blueprint, man.
Yeah, but what is it?
Can't get
Look
to the
at
inside.
it. Think about it for a second. Oh, so if it's not on YouTube, you don't care. You ain't trying to see it.
At
You
least
ain't
give
trying
me
to
like
look at
a I don't know, a visual display,
That
like
was
a
visual.
cartoon. Like this is what the keyboard would look like, and then
That
it
was visual.
rotates.
I mean, it wasn't text.
Yeah, I need more than that. I'm sorry. I need more.
That's funny.
So anyway, now, Mike, you are an Apple user. You have a keyboard, right?
It's the same schematic.
So my question to you, Mike, is what are your thoughts about it? I mean,
Look, cool, the Telegraph.
does the keyboard have to be any thinner? I mean, do we really have a problem with large, bulky keyboards?
Clearly, because you were just telling him to turn the mic away from his keyboard before.
It was making too much noise. Yeah, see if I had that.
I said bulky. I didn't say quiet.
Oh.
Right? There's a difference.
No, that doesn't have to be.
I'd even ask the question outside of this one case where somebody has a microphone right next to the keyboard. Is there really a need for a perfectly quiet keyboard and a less than paper thin keyboard?
Imagine a library full
Well,
of these
like,
what do you do with
keyboards,
that?
and everybody's
I
sitting in
think
there working
need
very
is probably gonna
hard.
be overrated, but people, it's
Because you can, you do.
It's neat. It's a nifty gadget. We all like nifty gadgets, don't we?
Do I have to pay for it? Cause if I do,
Nolan from the bus. Open the door. Swish.
I don't need it.
You gotta pay for it.
Yeah, if I gotta pay for that, yeah, I don't need it. All right. Well, we're gonna ready to roll onto a blog roll for a moment, but before we do, let me tell you what that is. Our next story, we're gonna talk about some changes that the new App Store is going to make, and that would be Apple's App Store. They're going to make some changes to their site. We're going to talk about that. But before we do, let's go ahead and jump into Blog Roll.
Rolling,
With the Posis.
rolling up your posting.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Blog Roll.
Rolling.
Blog Roll is when we take a look at what you guys are writing,
Rolling on your posting.
what you're putting out there into the blogosphere.
What?
Today we got two stories that I want to share with you. One of them comes from Tim Arthur, his website.
Okay.
And I also have one I want to share just in case you didn't see it.
Tactile. That's a good word, Bobby.
So coming from timponders.com, Tim appears to have gotten his maybe first or second guest post following in the footsteps of our very own Miss Eileen Smith. And I saw the discussion partly yesterday during our show. They were talking back and forth about how do I use WordPress to allow guests to post blog posts.
Yes, that was quite the meta conversation. A conversation within a conversation.
I saw it.
seen
Today,
But we were busy doing the show, so it was really
I
hard for us
couldn't participate in that. And since I don't use WordPress, I really couldn't participate in
to
that.
see
Boom, boom,
because
boom,
you don't
boom.
use WordPress. You really shouldn't participate.
So the name of this article is called "The Top 5 Horror Movie Villains."
Really?
Yeah, that's what this is about. The top 5
Jason.
horror movie villains.
you like?
So before you click on it,
Candyman.
if you haven't already looked, so name one. Can you name one? So Mike, you name one. What
Mike
is
Myers.
one of the top 5 horror film?
Freddy
It's probably either Jason, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers.
Okay, I said pick one.
Oh,
Those are the big three
Pick
right
one.
there.
Pick one.
Candyman.
Pick one.
Candyman.
Candyman.
I forgot about Candyman.
He's not
horrible.
on here, but sure.
He was horrible.
He was pretty bad.
Yeah,
Pinhead,
he
the
was
guy
scary.
from the Pinhead guy.
Yeah, Pinhead. But he's not
Hellraiser.
up here.
So Jason's up there, right?
Jason is not on this list of
What?
top 5. I'll give you one or two. The first one, Jigsaw,
Okay.
right from
Oh
Saw.
yeah.
Right?
I haven't seen any of those.
Really
but-
though?
I don't even know. Was he really a villain though?
It was a puppet.
I mean, was he really
So
a
then
villain?
Chucky would
'Cause
count.
Yeah, but
He was a puppet.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
but
John McCain.
Nice. Bob H. from Fuquay Arenas. it rolls in.
Totally bold.
Another one from an old school, Norman Bates.
Oh yes,
from
there
Psycho.
you go. The original classic
what year is
Psycho
that?
Killer.
Uh,
That's a good one.
That's a long time ago. But let me share this story with you. This is coming from
That's
his site, and
Alfred Hitchcock. He was the father of
Birds.
movies. Yeah, Birds.
birds. Yeah.
Good.
That's on the list.
No, there are no birds on this one. And then I wrote one. This one is called "My Professional Mentoring Started with One Question," And really, there's nothing to tell here. It's just me brainstorming for the most part. But I do talk a little bit about you know, about this new mentor that I picked up recently. which is
Really?
pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
The top 5 just lost a lot of credit.
Yeah. Well, he didn't write it. Some other guy did.
So
So,
I'm saying that
It's
so
a guest
charge it
post's-
to his head, not his heart.
It's,
Yeah.
a, it's a guest post's, and we are all entitled to our opinions. Come
Jason ain't on the list. though?
Just
on. Well, We're all entitled
don't
to our opinion.
trust this guy.
the clown from outer space.
man, clowns are terrifying to certain people.
Yeah, I can't lie. There are some very terrifying clowns.
Gremlins didn't
Counts.
make the list then.
Gremlins is not really a villain.
Gremlins are, and
It's
they're
not
cute.
a villain.
Well, they were
Even
scary.
if they eat
not a
you, even
villain.
if they chew your legs
But
off,
the
and stuff,
cow
they're cute.
over there, the
A
clown.
villain.
Okay.
A villain. These aren't villains. These are just like creatures. Creatures really can't be villains. It's
So,
like
like,
aliens.
Yeah, alien can't make the
They
list.
can't really be a
Why
villain
not?
because they don't really think in that way.
Yeah, they're acting.
They're just like by nature.
Yeah, by
just-
instinct.
So Predator wouldn't count either.
Right.
No, he just eats.
That's
He's
instinct.
not really a villain. He just wears an outfit.
So this is for
so then
sport, though.
so then Chucky wouldn't count. I mean, we
Well,
could,
he could be because he was actually a bad guy that got ported into a doll. So Chucky really is a guy.
so then, but you could say Michael Myers. He's just doing this by instinct. He is pure evil, doing what
Well,
pure evil does.
he is evil though. He is a guy and he's evil.
Man,
He's a guy.
Yeah, let's just
You-
start there.
you
Can we start at Guy?
I don't know. See, I think that if
Jason was a guy.
over the course of the Jason saga, I think they dehumanized him in a very large way. He wasn't really a guy by the time they finished.
But he did have
laying
a
out his-
mother.
Yeah, he drowned. He
And
was born.
Everybody's got a mother.
And he had a father.
Okay, well,
Not
okay.
everybody. Gremlins didn't really have a mother. They just had,
They got dumped in water.
yeah, and just like popped out.
See,
So
no,
I don't know.
This criteria is getting more and more furry. You guys
The
are
clowns
just,
don't count
You're,
though.
you're doing this. You guys are just making this up as you go along.
The
aren't you?
clown is an alien because they were out of space, so they should be eliminated.
You guys are just making this up.
See, the silence.
See
means,
how we just digressed from that?
the silence means I'm
Yeah.
right.
No,
No.
You're not. All right, let me finish this last story here before we run out of time. Let me tell a little bit about this new upgrade that Apple is making on their App Store. Let me first of all ask this question: does anyone actually use the Apple App Store? And of course, I have to look at Mike, who's sitting across from me right now, because I imagine that he does, since
Yeah,
he is
that's
the
how I
owner.
get my apps.
So let me ask your question. And
Yes,
of course,
short answer is I have used it. Yes.
then I'm going to look to you for this response.
Okay.
And for those of you who are listening in the chat room right now or listening on the archive show, it's totally okay. I want to ask this question. How bad would you say finding stuff in the Apple App Store is? How difficult?
compared to the
Scale
Android
from 1 to
market?
5. Yes.
Compared to the Android
It's
market,
easier to find the apps in the App Store.
I agree.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying from
I mean,
this story.
I still use Market now. I haven't touched the App Store in years, but when I did, I thought
when
the
I
experience
do,
was.
I choose.
So-
I put the experience
Dos
at the App
Equis.
Store at a 2, and I'll put the experience in Market at maybe 4.
So let's go from
On a 5-point scale.
1 to 5.
Right.
5 being very difficult, 1 being extremely easy. Where do you say the App Store, finding apps in the App Store, the Apple App Store is?
2.
2. You said 2 too.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, for whatever reason, then, and then this may not even be a necessity.
In my opinion, it may no longer be valid. I haven't dinked around on my Apple device.
But you
in a
you
minute.
are now a user of the Apple App Store, so you know,
Yeah.
Mike.
I'm tempted. I'm going to see what happens. in this
Okay.
generation.
Well, there's a story here that's coming from Gizmodo where they said that Apple has just purchased a company called Chomp. That's CHOMP, Chomp,
I know Chomp.
and it's an app search company.
Oh no, different Chomp.
They have Apple in this case has spent has purchased Chomp for $50 million,
Ballin'.
which appears to be they're buying this company so that they can make their Apple App Store even easier to find apps. So I guess I was under the assumption that that the App Store was getting out of hand, that it was becoming unwieldy and uncontrollable, and
No,
at
more so
500,000
than Android
apps.
Market?
I don't know. I'm just saying this is what the article is saying. The article says there's a problem. There are 500,000 apps in the Apple App Store, and it is becoming a little bit under control, a little bit hard to control. And so they believe that the purchase of this company, Chomp, would help to make it easier to find different things. Now, I find it interesting that this company, Chomp, has an exclusive deal with Verizon. and it is using Verizon in this case is using this search tool to power its own Android-based app searches. So there's something to be said there. Now, of course, I'm going to turn to the chat room because I see some of you are responding as well. Mike says I'd give it a 2. Random brain activity. That's Bob says apps, yes, but it's a pain to find podcasts or stuff in iTunes.
Wholeheartedly agree.
It's horrible.
Dude.
It's that bad, huh?
Well,
it's
I
bad.
like iTunes. I have cards, gift cards, and if I'm doing or me or a friend of mine, we're doing like a live DJ thing, and somebody makes a request for a song,
Right.
ziggity zap, we're done. It's cool. It is very, very cool in that way. But yeah. As far as the podcast, some of those things I would like to listen to on a regular basis, like this show, unless you know exactly what to call it in your search thing, you may never, ever, ever find it. Especially if I want to subscribe to a podcast using the Droid, you know. And I'm still trying to figure out the way to get those podcasts, just the right podcast address, so they automatically load up in my Droid, you know, especially in the car and stuff like NPR's Marketplace Money or something like that. There's no reason that I shouldn't be able to say NPR Marketplace Money, and every day that 60, 90, 2-minute thing comes up in my Droid when I want it to. But no,
That's not how it happened, huh?
not yet. I don't know. The problem might be in between the chair and the keyboard. I'm still working on it.
Well, you know, I guess you can pick and choose your battles on that one.
Yep, you know,
I don't
pick your
know
poison.
if this is gonna. Well, I guess on the other side of that though, if the Apple App Store is already doing a really great job, and you're saying, look, it's a 2, maybe they could get to a 1.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty easy. Like if you I think somebody said if you specifically know the title, it gives you what it actually is, and it can give you apps that have the same similar
Exactly.
name.
That's the
so
thing.
if you was looking for something else,
it's semantically very, very. It's intuitive. For instance, the most memorable experience I had with the App Store, I wanted something where I could do multi-tracking. For instance, I got some beats that I was messing around with in my home studio, and again, I'm like in my car, and I wanted to use my my phone to play around with some lyrics and overdub on top of those beats.
Right.
I found out a brilliant, elegant, very cheap app to do that, and it only works for the iGadget. I can't find anything Android that does that's similar. And then there were a couple of other, if those that like this might also like that. That's just an experience. The iTunes App Store experience that was a typical experience for me. You could look it up by function and pretty much find what you're looking for.
and I read ratings too.
You can do that on in the market, but it's a little more convoluted, in my opinion.
Maybe it's because there are so many different, you know, like people that can create apps.
Exactly.
That there's just too many of them that you're like, well, which one do I really want?
And
you know?
Apple
Use the
kind of
5-star.
Apple controls what it is that they Apple has a little more control over their app store, because you read about people that are making regular desktop applications saying we're still waiting for approval from the from iTunes before we have a version of this widget available in App Store. I read about that kind of stuff all the time.
Right. Miss Eileen shares a link. It's
90
to
seconds.
it's to her podcast. Miss Eileen Speaks. You can go over there right now to
Mike,
iTunes
Make a desktop shortcut of that.
to come check those out. Give her a 5-star.
Man, how do you do that?
Thank you, Miss Eileen.
Here, I'll show you.
All right, y'all. Let me roll up our show here and throw on.
Is it short today? Oh, it was late.
So yes, that sound means it's time for us to run. Let me first of all say thank you to you,
60 seconds.
Mr. Alan Tran, also Miss Eileen Speaks, Neil, Bob H, Little Bites, that's Marianne, Michael Render, Derek Brinson, Leon Lewis, that's Dyslexic and American, all of you listening live in an archive. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Don't forget though, just in case you may have forgotten or didn't know, we're here every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on blogtalkradio.com/Damon Nolan. Also, you can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/Damon Nolan. You'll get the higher fidelity version in case you missed anything, or we'll even cut those up into smaller segments so you can share them with your friends.
What a dude.
That's going to do it for us, y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday or online. Mike Renner, take us out of here.
Deuces.
10 seconds.
Deuces.